Golly. You know, sometimes you get ahead of your skis. Sometimes you think a little bit too big of yourself. You release a hit game. People like it. People love it. A guy like me even finishes it. Control was a wonderful game. Shout out to Remedy Studios for that game. Notice how it had a female character who wasn't revealing, and nobody complained. You want to know why? Because it was a good game. Control was very fun. And then you decided out of nowhere you was gonna do something completely left field. FBC Firebreak, nigga. That sounds like a rapper with herpes. I'm so, I don't know. I'm FBC Firebreak. Come on, get out of here. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, man. Come on now. God damn, man. What are they doing? Make sure if you're on mobile, hype the video as well. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they can help your boy out a little bit. But anyway, so FBC Firebreak, the rapper that never was. Okay. Remedy CEO Tero Virtala replaced effective immediately. His replacement comes less than 6 months after the release of FBC Firebreak and its total failure that resulted in 14.9 million non-cash impairment. The game only hit a peak concurrent of just 1,992 on Steam when it was released. You can't make this shit up. Who are the 23 people playing? Who are the 23 people playing this game? I need to know right now. Bring your ass to the front. I need to know who's playing this game. If you look at some of the gameplay, I don't know. Yeah, nah, I'm good on it. Firebreakers needed more firepower, so that's what we delivered on the first free major update. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. You can see the engagement here. Ain't nobody engaged. Nobody's engaged. And they are facing hard times, ladies and gentlemen. Get over here to PC Gamer as FBC Firebreak fails to recover from its disastrous launch, and profit warnings are issued to shareholders. The CEO of Remedy Entertainment is stepping down. Okay, it's been a strange few years for Remedy Entertainment. On one hand, it's more independent and successful than ever before. With less reliance on publisher investment, it's been able to develop and expand its studio-owned properties into a connected universe and move towards self-publishing. And it's produced some of its most critically acclaimed games ever, including ambitious sequel Alan Wake 2. Well, yeah, sure, maybe. I don't know how well that game performed though. On the other, Alan Wake 2 took about a year and a half to even start turning a profit. And most recently, its first self-published game, FBC Firebreak, was a dispiriting flop, with the studio having to issue profit warnings to shareholders in the wake of its poor sales and feeble player count. You can't make this shit up, man. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
You want to know what happened there? I bet you any amount of money with them making more single player focused games, which is what they're good at. Okay, they probably thought, yeah, we're gonna need a live service game that can bring us in some passive income while we're trying to make our single player games, and it flopped, nigga, because it was soulless. It was a soulless cash grab, nigga. That's what it was. Now Remedy CEO Tero Virtala has announced he's stepping down after 9 years in a row. That's cooked. That's cooked. FBC Firebreak always seemed like a risky and potentially misguided project, not only straying far from the studio's core strengths. When I visited the studio ahead of its release, I got a strong sense of the team's passion for co-op gaming, but equally found no clear answer to the most important question: who was it actually for? It's easy to point to as a major error in judgment from senior leadership. Yeah, because that's not what we're expecting from you. That's not what we're expecting from you. And now you have a former playtester. Now, I want you guys to take this with a huge grain of salt. I looked into this person. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he works in the industry. I don't know what he is. He doesn't have a big following or anything like that. It's just he's claiming he's breaking NDA to say this. Okay, so you can see this post from Pirate Nation, Remedy CEO, reporting on that. And then he decided he was going to quote unquote break NDA and speak his mind. He goes, fine, I'll breach NDA. They can't pin any damages nor financial loss on me that they haven't already suffered upon themselves. So what he's saying is, normally when you sign an NDA, basically what they're telling you is if you speak of any of this, you will face huge financial penalties. Now, I'm assuming that what he's saying is that whatever financial penalties the own because I'm thinking, and you guys may know more about NDAs, and I thought I knew a lot about NDAs until he said this. I thought that it doesn't matter whether we lose anything financially or not. You're held liable because you signed and said that you won't speak about it. He's alluding to the idea that it's only applicable if you can prove that we suffered damages from you breaching the contract by speaking out on this. That sounds crazy to me, but whatever. And I'm sure somebody in the comments will correct this. Despite Remedy's community manager publicly likening critics to bigots and calling for less white male content creators to cover their games with no consequences from Remedy, he added, I still participated in the playtest and left feedback. A term for doing so was signing an NDA that forbids you from even mentioning you participated or discussed what you saw. Okay. So ultimately, what they were looking for was not for somebody to come out here and give their feedback to the public. They wanted feedback in house, which I understand. If I'm making a game and I'm kind of like iffy, like we enjoy the game, but I don't know if the public will like it just yet. I'm going to bring in some people. I don't want you speaking about it publicly. I want you to tell us what you think. He says, what I saw was a game that so clearly wasn't made for anyone. It was mind-boggling. It was even being made by a company that had just been in headlines for struggling to hit Alan Wake 2 profits. It needed more story, creativity, and I told them that. It was not going to appeal to their core fans, and it was not going to appeal to genre players either. I wasn't the only one. Many others did too. And it's funny because the person who just wrote that article said the same thing. So this is why like I'm kind of sort of believing that this person has some knowledge of the game because or they could have read that article and made this. But no, he posted this a couple of days ago. So ultimately what he's saying is that yeah, who was this for? What did they change? Nothing. Made tutorial screen easier to read. It's still a soulless objective shooter with nothing to offer but inside references for control. A game that is a completely different genre. Turns out I was right. And it's sitting at under 20 players on Steam right now with a CEO stepping down. Maybe if they spent less time chasing live service money and DEI initiatives, I do not say that lightly, there's well documented proof this has been a massive priority for them. Maybe they'd have the wherewithal to recognize this game was going to flop. Still waiting for public disavowing from Remedy for their manager's Twitter tirades before I even consider giving them money again. By the way, it's a shame. I love this company for 20 plus years. They can do better. They just don't want to. So, let me see. What was it? The president? I can't remember those comments. Their Remedy manager. Let's see. Let's go to Google and find. Guys, I couldn't find the tweet. I couldn't find exactly. Was this the one? I think Smash might have covered it here, but I don't want to bring up Smash video over here because I would like you guys to go and watch it for yourselves. Is this the one? That this must have been her. But I can't remember. I vaguely remember covering this. Savvy, this is what the senior community manager does along with going on vacation right as Firebreak launched. She also loves commenting on America and thinks we shouldn't have borders. She's not American. Subtly angling my laptop away so the people working in the co-working office can't tell I'm catching up on 16 years worth of Dan and Phil videos. Okay. Are these the tweets? No, I don't think these are tweets. I don't think these are tweets. That's the comms director. Either way, the point is, um, these are the people that you're hiring, and because these are the people that you're hiring, you're not prioritizing making the best games, and you're not making the best decisions because your studio is run by a bunch of woke retards. So, I mean, in other words, you get what you fucking deserve. I think the clown horn of the day goes to Remedy Studios. And what a fail of a game. Okay. Let me know what what y'all think down in the comments. As always, may the
video.
growth be with you. I'll talk to y'all later.
Oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.